Good afternoon, everybody. This is Tom Olsaban, Director of Tax Content and Government Relations at NATP. Today is Thursday, August the 15th. We've got some breaking news from the IRS regarding the Employee Retention Credit program as it's been pursued by the IRS. Today, the IRS has announced a voluntary compliance settlement program for those claims that have been filed relative to 2021. Clients have already received the money, and now they're having maybe cold feet that might have been too good to be true, and they'd like to return the money. The IRS has started up now a new voluntary compliance settlement program that will be in effect now through November the 22nd. How this program is going to work is that, again, clients have already received the money. In the case where they've received the money, they can return 85% of it. So they get to keep 15% of it, plus the notice tells us, by the way, the notice released today is notice 2024-30, and they get to keep 85% of the money they received and the interest, if any of that was paid. So concurrently, the IRS is announcing through the ERC claims that they are processing or taking a look at, they're going to reject another 30,000 of these claims. So if you got a rejection letter, you're not eligible for the settlement program. If you filed in the previous program, the one that ended back in March, which should have been for 2020 payroll, those were the quarters that it was referring to, you can't be filing for the same quarters that you did during that time. You can't be under criminal investigation. You can't have amended the return already. All of those circumstances create a circumstance where you wouldn't qualify for this voluntary compliance settlement program and be able to return 85% of the money. But as we can see, the IRS is also looking at the amount of criminal investigation they're doing, and they're successful in their pursuit of erroneous claims. So in concert, it certainly would appear that we want to have a circumstance where better to act than react, if that's the case where you've got a client or perhaps you yourself feel that, you know, it's just too good to be true. And so given that it's too good to be true, here's an opportunity to return the money, 85 cents on the dollar. And we're going to have this today also in our Tax Pro Weekly, a link which will take you to IRS Notice 2024-30. And there's a form to fill out. Let me look at this real quick with my cheaters on. When you go to the IRS website and do this, you're going to be completing form 15154. I think I've got the form correct. Let me find that here again. I'm sorry, 15434. 15434, which is the application for the Employee Retention Claim Voluntary Disclosure Program. Once the IRS approves it, you've got the opportunity to go ahead and make the 85% payment via the electronic tax payment system, EFTPS, or this is also good too, don't have the money anymore, you could actually enter into an installment program with the IRS. So remember again that these voluntary compliance settlement programs are for those taxpayers who've already received the money and they just feel like, or they're laying awake at night worrying that the IRS is going to knock on the door and say, you know what, you should not have gotten this money, you didn't qualify, maybe you were talked into doing it, and we want the money back, and now we might be saying that this was done fraudulently, which invites a whole nother circumstance. So that's the big news today. I will tell you that the ability for you who are watching as tax professionals and also for business owners out there, if you've got a pending claim that, again, you feel like it's just too good to be true, you haven't got your money yet, well, certainly you still have the ability to withdraw that claim, and again, no harm, no foul. So you could withdraw the claim. If you, in fact, receive one of these 30,000 letters that are going to be going out in rejecting the claim, and you feel on the opposite side that this is absolutely incorrect, I do qualify for this, you certainly have an appeals process as well. So it may not be the end of the story to just say, well, the IRS rejected, I'm not going to fight it. That's a separate argument. So really, we have several factors that we want to share with you as the breaking news today. One, we have a voluntary disclosure settlement program for those taxpayers who received their employee retention credit money relative to tax year 2021 and feel like it was too good to be true. Between now and November 22nd, you could go ahead and return 85% of it after you fill out the form and the IRS comes back and say, okay, we processed it, give us our money. 85% of it, you get to keep 15% plus any interest you might have earned. That's phase one. Phase two would be there's another round of rejections going out from the IRS very quickly. And remember again that there is an appeals process for saying, no, I do qualify. And for you or your clients who have claims pending and you feel like, again, maybe this was just too good to be true, I want to go ahead and withdraw that claim, that withdrawal process is still there. So that's the update that we have for you today from the IRS with their release 2420-30. I would also suggest that you take a look at the NATP weekly publication that we have, the Tax Pro Weekly. We mentioned these same factoids within that, including a link to the notice as well. So for all of us here at NATP, this is Tom Olsaven, the Director of Tax Content and Government Relations, wishing you all the best, and we'll give you news as soon as it breaks.